What's up, guys? It's another episode of Off the Post, and I'm your host, DJ Rick. I'm sorry that I had that picture on someone else randomly. They'll see it and they'll be like, what the heck? That was silly. And we're going to do a Olympic special, U.S. Women's National Team. I guess we're going to be talking about them all Olympics, unless there's other teams we all want to talk about. Anyone? No? Heads are shaking. Or heads are staring at me. Either way. So we're only going to talk about the U.S. Women's National Team, because that's all we care about. As you can see, oh, right, he's gone. So we might have a special guest on with us. We'll see if that happens. If so, it'll be a real special guest and surprise. But let's see what all the panelists are up to as I put my lower third screen real quick. Danielle, what have you been up to lately?
Not a lot. I just got back. I went to Chicago last weekend for the FCKC Red Stars game, which was fun. Hung out with my friends from Chicago local. Yes. Sat by myself in a fan section. Turns out they were fans in the middle, so I could have been sitting with other Blues fans. But that's fine. That's fine.
Sounds like a fun time, indeed. Jackie, what have you been up to lately?
Well, last weekend I was at the KC game when they played. Who was it? Costa Rica. Yeah, and that was pretty amazing. It's great to see. And working, the usual.
All right, sounds good, sounds good. Well, I guess I won't have time to put this lower third up, so I'll now turn the camera back to my face. All right, people. Well, as you know, like I said, if our special guest comes and joins us, then we'll be able to talk about some of the great games. Also, this is what I have to tell you, people. Yes, we are having a contest where we are giving away a free scarf. A free scarf, that means that you don't have to pay us money to send it to you or pay me money for buying it for you. Actually, I would accept checks and money orders, but we'll see. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll give it for free. Yeah, I'll take money orders even. That's how desperate I'll go. So if you want this scarf, all you got to do is retweet us on Twitter and then follow the Twitter. And then if you like us on Facebook, because Facebook is still a thing, then you'll also get a chance to this free scarf. Okay, let's go see our special guest, and we'll start the show. Charlie Flowe, how have you been doing lately, man?
Oh, cannot complain. Doing great. How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
I told you people we were going to have a special guest. I told you. I'm not a liar. Only sometimes on the weekends.
Only occasionally.
Don't listen to. So if you want to use the hashtag #WoSoOffThePost or what's it, WoSoTalk, because barely anyone uses it. That's how much people use it. Then you can send us questions during this show. But if you would like to know how Danielle and Jackie have helped me be able to chug 10 beers in 1 minute, use that. So let's start the show. So we're going to go into our expectations going into this game. And we'll start with you first, Charlie, since you're our special guest. What are some of your expectations going into this game versus New Zealand?
I think the expectations are just win. And to me, I don't really care what the score line is. Win is the number one priority. Number two priority, get through the game healthy, no injuries.
Good. Danielle, did you have any expectations going in?
I thought it was going to be a hard-fought game. New Zealand they're decent. They're 17th in the world. I mean, not top 10, but they're a decent team, have some good players. So I knew it was going to be a hard-fought win, but I knew we were going to probably win.
Yep.
I expected probably a shutout. Yeah.
Sounds good. And then let's go with you, Jackie, real quick. Expectations?
Yeah, I knew that our offense would overpower their defense. I just wasn't sure how many times, but I think 2 goals is pretty respectable. And I was hoping for Mallory Pugh and Lindsay Horan to get some minutes, and they did. So.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think my expectations were the same as you guys. It was one of those games where I knew we'd win. We probably wouldn't look sharp or look that good to start because it's the start of the tournament, and I think we'll really pick up later on. But I didn't expect too much of actually a threat from New Zealand, to be honest. So it was a game where I thought it'd be comfortable and we'd win pretty easily. Let's talk about the first half, guys. We'll start with you, Charlie, then we'll ask you, Danielle, about the first half. Charlie, what were your thoughts on the first half? Some things you saw in that game.
I think the first half was kind of a tempo thing that we've seen them in warm-up matches. Some of the games weren't always the best, but Jill was kind of like, I look at it in a lot of these tournaments, she's not showing all of her cards. She's going out there, trying some things out, just trying to get through the first half, get on the board, and just feel teams out. Because, U.S., we've seen them see such a great second-half team that I think the first-half team is working with what she's got, testing the formation out, and just getting on the board.
And then, Danielle, can you give us some examples of some things you saw in the first half of what you liked and what you didn't like?
Well, what I liked was getting that goal early. I believe I looked it up. It was the 9th minute, I believe. So that was great. It set the tone. It, probably, made everyone feel a little better too. Kind of took some of the pressure off. So, and it was a good goal. That was a great header from Carly. So that was my big thing: is to start off strong, set the tempo, set the mood, tone. That's the word I was looking for, tone, and really get it going.
Sounds good. And Jackie, any thoughts on your first half? What you saw?
Yeah, I think the early goal was really important from Lloyd, and I think on the second goal with Morgan, it was a nice strike, but the keeper was a little out of position, but either way, we'll take it.
All right, sounds good. Now, Jackie, how about some of the second half, some things you saw in the second half, and about the substitutions? Did you agree with some of those substitutions?
The biggest thing for me was I think our fitness came into play. I know Dawn does a great job with the team, but I could really see New Zealand kind of not really pressuring as much, and we kept, pressuring them, all the way to the 90th minute. I think that was a huge factor going forward. And for the subs, I liked seeing Haran and Dunn come on. I think they have a lot of energy they can provide. And maybe even Dunn can get the start tomorrow. I think it was a good, solid about 40 minutes from her.
Yeah, I agree with that, definitely. I want to see more of Dunn on this tournament. Sure. Danielle, your thoughts?
Again, that early goal in the half to kind of seal it was really important to the half. I think after that it was just kind of a good business performance. Take care of business, don't make any big mistakes, try not to let anyone get injured. I hear Pew's okay, so that's good. Just kind of, like I said, business performance. I like the subs. I personally would have loved to see Dunn start, but I liked that, to echo Jackie, that she got a lot of time. Getting Lindsay Horan in there for Morgan Bryan was good. I'm a big Press fan, so I'm always excited to see her on the pitch.
Right.
It's the subs we knew were going to happen. I don't think anyone was really surprised. Jill doesn't like to play all of her cards, but yet sometimes she can be a little predictable, and I think subs are really the place that comes out. But yeah, second half, it's just kind of business performance.
And Charlie, any thoughts from the second half? Anything you picked up on there, or was it like what you expected to see with the substitutions?
I think it was a kind of a dream scenario to start the second half, get that early goal, and it's always true. Good when Alex Morgan gets on the board. Then when she has an early goal like that, it just builds her confidence up. We've seen her have her ups and downs throughout the last couple of years with a couple different injuries and not finding herself in full form. And I think it helps with the pressure. We look at a tournament like this, we're missing a Sydney Leroux who can be a big factor off the bench, and Alex Morgan getting on the board and having some good subs come in and contribute meaningful minutes is very massive. And like all the other guests on the show were just saying about the getting through healthy and just going through business, that I'm not too worried about the score. I think that one of the big things if I'm a coach when I'm coaching teams is getting that cushion, is riding through the whole second half. Suddenly you've got a 2-goal advantage and not letting a team think they're in a game, because if it would have stayed 1-0, the longer it stays 1-0, the more New Zealand thinks they have a shot, and more other teams that are going to play us, like France tomorrow, thinking, hey, we've got a shot, we can use this film to look at a way to kind of an architectural plan to play the U.S., but great job, come out in the second half, taking care of business, and just getting a win.
Sounds good. It looked like you touched on the overall thoughts of the overall game as well, so I'll hit Danielle with this question. And so your overall thoughts on the game as a whole?
I thought it was a pretty strong performance to kind of open up a tournament, seeing if there's nerves, trying to see the tone of the tournament. So I thought it was kind of a good starter performance, especially, preparing for a team like France tomorrow.
Yep. And Jackie?
I think we missed a few chances in the second half, but overall, a 2-0 win is a good start to the tournament.
And I guess I should say something. Yes, I thought it was an overall good win too. Sorry, I was letting you guys just go have the floor. No, I thought it was a good win. Like I said, it wasn't one of those games. It was one of those games where I watched it kind of knowing we win. The first half, the second half, how it started off, like you said, hit it so comfortable that there weren't really much of a worry to begin with. Even though they didn't really have too many threats, a lot of half chances, if really any at all, to be honest. And so it was like once we scored that, I felt like the game was over pretty much. We could just hold possession pretty comfortably, do our substitutions the way we want to, and not substitutions, dealing with situational of what we might need to do. So, and it was just like try to get everyone out the healthy as possible and let nothing, happen to anyone, and really just, I don't know, cruise to victory. I found it to be just another one of those games where I watched kind of just like, yeah, it wasn't like I was excited. But I think the exciting games, especially this next one, should be the ones that are going to be coming up later on in the tournament. So, usually the first game I expecting it to, like, get me out of my seat jumping up and down anyway, but it was one of those games where, we did what we had to do, and that's what's good, because if we would have slipped up in any way, like, even if we would have got a draw 1-1, then we would have had some thoughts and have been looking at this game a lot harder under a bigger microscope. All right, actually, Charlie, is there anything else you had to say? Because I'm really going to have you on for the first the review of that game, as we'll go into the France stuff. Yeah.
No, just thanks for having me on, and it was very good game. But I think it's kind of like an appetizer that we all know that the expectations are gold, and nothing else but a gold medal is pretty much a failure. And it's just the way that we are and the way that we look at women's soccer with the U.S. That it's Jill Ellis. If you look at her record last year and even the knockout stage in the Women's World Cup, progressively the scores got bigger as we went along. We kept scoring more and more as we went to the knockout stage. So this is a game that you got the win. It doesn't matter. You got the 3 points, and I think the big test will be tomorrow. They pick up the win tomorrow, then they're pretty much in the driver's seat, and they can just think knockout stage.
Mm-hmm.
Right on, right on. All right, thanks, Charlie. We appreciate it, and you got to let us come on one of your show one of these times. We got people that are funny.
Yeah, we're on a little bit of a hiatus right now. There's some things I'll be announcing soon about us moving to an FM station in Philadelphia, so that will definitely make it time. And my coaching, I say, will slow up, but it won't. But I'll be able to announce a women's college that I'll be coaching at this fall. The school hasn't made the announcement because I haven't signed the paperwork, but I'll be able to announce that soon, that I'll be coaching at all women's college this fall.
Oh, that's sick, man. Good job, man. Appreciate it. And thanks for being on then, for sure. Yep.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Let's see if I had to end like that. See ya. Okay. Let's get a little bit more serious, guys. We're going to talk about France versus U.S. Women's National Team. This is going to be a fun one. Hopefully. We're hoping it's going to be a fun one.
I think
this
it will
should be one. Yeah, I mean, this should be the one that should help us, like, really gauge where we're at, and see, let some of the younger players test themselves. We're going to let you go first, Danielle, because you say you think it will be. Why do you think it will be? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, France looks sharp in their opening game. I really had a lot of fun watching it. They dominated possession. I think it was 67% of possession. They scored 3 plus the own goal. 2 of those were off set pieces, and that free kick goal was awesome. They just look sharp, like they're ready. I think that they want to prove that they are one of the best in the world, and a gold would be a great way to do it. So I think they're going to come, and I think they're going to be great. Personally, I think it's going to be maybe 2-1 U.S., but it's not going to be easy. That's for sure.
Who's going to score the first U.S. goal?
Oh, that's difficult.
I know.
If it depends who starts. No, not. I think Dunn might get the start. No, Tobin did a great job. This is not me bashing Tobin. Jen Carl, I'm not bashing Tobin. I thought she did a great job setting up the goals last game. Like, that assist on Carly's goal was great.
So you're a Tobin fan? You're a Tobin fan now?
Let's not get crazy.
Okay. I'm sorry. I overstepped my boundaries.
If Dunn gets the start, I think she will.
Okay.
So if Jill kind of rests up Hugh, I think Dunn will. If Dunn does not start, Alex.
All right. Jackie, give me a score and what are your expectations?
I'm going to say 1-0 U.S., and I have Bowman or JJ scoring off the set piece.
Okay, that's a good one.
And for me, I think the biggest issue with France is their defense and, more importantly, their goalkeeping. I think
so true.
If she can hold us to 1 goal France might actually have a chance, but if we score two, I mean, I know they have a great midfield, you know, Nissi, Le Sommer, and they're stacked. There's no question. But I think their defense is the biggest question going into tomorrow. It's going to be hopefully an amazing atmosphere, and always it's a great game with France, so it should be good.
And who was your first goal scorer?
Well, Tobin or JJ.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is going to be one of the games I'm definitely going to make sure, well, I mean, considering I'm going to be breaking down a game, definitely get to, I'm happy to get to watch this one because I think it's going to be a good game just because, like I said, that goalkeeper for France, I swear, it's always just like a rocky trip. Every time she touches the ball, you expect something bad to happen. So I think if we can get maybe one by, that'll hurt a bit. Maybe two. If we get two by her, then I think their ball game. Then it'll be, I can see the U.S. winning comfortably, like probably 2-0. But if, say, they hold, like, we get one first or they get one first, then it might be one of those games where you're like, oh, I don't know how this might land for us. But I'm going to, go on the safe side and go for a draw, say 1-1. Because I say we're not really kicking yet, and maybe they'll, be like, kind of like, how teams play us sometimes. They're kind of nervous sometimes, or they'll just play us real conservative, more conservative than if they were playing against another team. And it might be a 1-1 scoreline. So that's what I'm going to go with. And my goal scorer is going to be Hope Solo. All right, guys. Well, that's another episode of Off the Post. And like I said, be sure to check out that contest because that's going to be pretty cool to win yourself a scarf. We'll probably end up giving it away like during the semifinals or something, so you can have something nice to wrap up yourself in this cold weather of the summer. All right, I'm your host, DJ Redcap, and guys, you have to start waving, and then I'll start stopping the broadcast. Start stopping. I love that. Yeah. Poorly. Yeah, there we go. I'll accept that. Okay. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye for now.